Hey there, everybody. It's Zach Clayton with Community Pay It Forward, Community Dare to Care, and the PAC channel. We're here on Compassionate Citizens today to talk to you about some of the great things that we have going on in the world. Um, we would first like to wish everybody a very, very happy Memorial weekend. I know that we are a little past that, but in in our eyes, and we're kind of hoping that your eyes as well. We think that every day ought to be Memorial Day. We should always remember those who have served this country, um, along with all of those who are heroes within this country. We ask a lot of people to help protect us, keep us safe, keep us grounded. And it's really one of those things that we should really take and try to remember them any day, every day. So, to everyone who's ever put on a uniform and served this country, from the bottom of my heart, thank you very much. If you are a teacher, if you're a doctor, a nurse, a first responder, law enforcement, on and on and on. Thank you so much for what you do. Every day in our eyes is a day of remembrance. Every day is Veterans Day. Every day is Heroes Day. We have a really good show for you today. We've got a couple great guests that we're going to be getting to in here in a minute. We've got Alistair Banks, who's an author of, for, she's an author for women of Christian fiction. So I'm really interested to see a little bit more about that. I've never heard her story. I know that she's been on Compassionate Citizens before, so I'm a little excited to meet her myself. And then we're going to be joined by Mr. Roger Owens, who is a hydration specialist. I was just joking with him a couple minutes ago that well, I guess this means that I shouldn't be sipping on my dark cherry or whatever it is, wild cherry diet Pepsi. And hey, I gotta watch my girlish figure somehow, so I gotta go with the diet Pepsi. That's just all there is to it. We are working right now, and I want to do go on ahead and let everybody know that our Mall in One is open. As you can see, the giant words behind me. What is the Mall in One? These are stores that we have affiliate links to. Stores like Sweet Sheets, Pampered Chefs, Detox, and look at this. I I've even blocked off my background with my safe there, so even InPhone is another one that we've got. We've got so many of these stores. Plus, we've got the Community Dare to Care shop, which is our dollar store that cares a lot more. It's an online dollar store. You go to it, you take and go to our little friend here, the QR code. You scan that, you go to our dollar store. You make any purchase, and within that scan, it's going to say, "Okay, thank you for your purchase. Now tell us, out of all of these groups, who do you want to support?" And a portion of your sales is going to go directly to supporting those groups. It's a dollar store, so you think, well, what's the donation going to be? That's really up to you. How much can you pay for? How much can you buy? We're not asking you to give up any additional money. Your family needs dog food. Your family needs some toys for your kids. Maybe you want to buy a couple books for the hospital or something. You need lawn supplies. Anything that you got at our dollar store, every time that you shop, it's a donation to somebody in the community who needs our help. So please remember, it is part of the Community Pay It Forward program. And every time you shop with one of our partners, a portion of that is going to go to support somebody who has asked us for help. So the Mall in One is open. We're ready to go. We're going to be announcing here real quick. Oh, I've been waiting for 2 years to say these words. Year 5 of our chili cook-off is finally coming back. It's been two years since we had it. So we are thrilled to be teaming up with Key Largo again for year 5 of our chili cook-off and toy drive for Northern Colorado hospitals. I know that we're being watched all over the world right now. Maybe not world, maybe world. Who knows? But the thing is that we're going to be doing our chili cook-off and toy drive again. This year, finally, we get to get back in there and do it again. So we're really excited about that. So if you're in Northern Colorado, 970-909-0751, 970-909-0751. I'd also like to let everybody know that starting Monday at 9 Eastern, 8 Central, 7 Mountain, and 6 Pacific, we've got our buddy Corinder starting his very first show. That he's going to be here. I don't know how many of you guys know Corinder, but he's a really, really great guy. Got a heart of gold. And he's going to be starting his very, very first podcast right here on the PAC channel. So we're excited for that, and I hope you tune in Monday morning for him. Tomorrow night on the PACT podcast, my podcast at 7 Eastern, 5 Mountain, we've got the June wine Hope Wine program going. And what that is that we're going to be honoring 2 wonderful programs, and we're going to be working with Hope Wines to take and support these programs. We're going to be working with the Lucas Project, which helps caregivers get a little relief. And anybody who's ever been a caregiver knows that it's pretty stressful. This is everything from parents who have children with special needs to my fiance and I were foster parents. We take care of individuals with autism and stuff like that. It's never a problem. It's always a privilege to be able to do it. But yeah, there are a certain amount of stresses with it. And the Lucas Project is a group that really tries to take and help support families who are trying to help others. And then we are thrilled to be bringing on great friend of mine, Bart Bartholomew from Veterans Honoring Veterans, one of my dearest friends in the world, one of the greatest guys you'll ever talk to. And of course, that's going to be hosted by Stephanie Samos and myself. So join us tomorrow night for that. And then we've got a wonderful interview that I did with Mrs. Angel Sun out of California. She's brand new to the Community Pay It Forward project program, and she is part of the ASEA family. ASEA is a alternative health care program. So a lot of good stuff coming up, and we ask you to join with us. Well, time for me to stop talking. Thank God. Somebody's finally shutting me up. There must be something miraculous going on. So, but we're going to bring on our 2 guests right now. I'd like to introduce to you Alistair Banks and Roger Owens. How are you both doing today?
Hi, I'm doing good. How are you?
That's great.
Yeah.
How are you doing, Roger?
I'm doing excellent as well.
All
Excited
right.
to be here.
Well, I appreciate the short notice, you guys jumping on and joining us today. It's always great to have you guys on. Alistair, let's talk to you first. Can you tell us a little bit about what you're doing, your books? I'm really interested to hear your story.
Yes, so my name is Alistair. I am a multi-generational author, motivational speaker, and I also have a blog as well. So I write children's books, I write poetry books, I have 3 gratitude journals for all ages, and I write Christian fiction for young adult women.
Christian fiction, can you give me a little bit of, can you expand on that a little bit? That sounds interesting to me.
Yes, so I decided to write my novels Girl Rise and Cracking the Happy Weight Code based off of my personal experiences. And so Allie Billings is considered like my alter ego. And so it's a fictionalized account of my life and just how Allie grew up with a brother who was disabled and her parents had a complicated marriage, and her grandmother also battled and dealt with mental illness as well. But Allie, grew up having a normal childhood. She went to school. She made a great group of friends, and I think Allie always took to like the city life instead of the country life. But I think God helped her to find, her place when it came to like her social life and the circle she was in. So I felt like, God placed her with those friends that He wanted her to be with. So, yeah. And
Is your and I know this might sound a little bit silly, but is this all based on your spirituality that you feel like God has presented you with this offer to bring these books to light?
yes, sir.
Okay. A little bit about the poetry. What kind of poetry are you doing?
So I have one seasonal poetry book, and it's called Spring Brings Summer, and it just kind of recaps some of the favorite times of spring and summer that I got to share with my mom. So we used to have a Japanese blossom tree out in the backyard. We would spend time at the beach together, and I wrote a poem about Easter, and it's called The Spirit of Easter. So it just talks about hope, love, and joy, and how we those thoughts and feelings, all encompass and celebrate Easter and the you know Jesus Christ, coming, how Jesus Christ rose again and came back from the dead. And so with my other poetry book, it's called The Pursuit of Love and Hope. And this is nonfiction, and it talks about how I have faced and dealt with fear, isolation, identity crisis, intimacy, and trust when it came to some of my love and relationships in my life. And so that's for that poetry book.
You mentioned that you have three different types of gratitude journals. What are the three different types of gratitude journals?
So the one for children is called the Gratitude Journal for Kids. So what I get kids to do is they write three things that they're grateful for, and they can draw or write one thing that they're grateful for. And at the bottom of each page, I have an affirmation that just kind of helps them, to love themselves, to love their body, to feel positive about life when things, are going good, when things aren't going great. And I love Disney movies growing up as well. And so I wrote some positive quotes for kids to live by through some of my favorite Disney movies that I loved and enjoyed as a kid. And in the teen journal, I have coloring pages. I have a space where teens can draw as well. And they just write one thing that they're grateful for each day. And on each page, I have a scale of like 1 to 10. You can bubble in how you're feeling that day. And I have affirmations for teen as well that target that teen audience. And with the adult journal, it's basically the same thing as the teen journal, except that the affirmations are targeted towards adults and the things that we all face as adults when it comes to our family, our career, and our finances. And, just some of the things that I feel like we all as adults kind of face, when we're in our 20s and our 30s is, buying our first home, our first marriage and having children and all those kind of things. And so I kind of created affirmations that, help people like me, like myself, like my generation to get through some of those times.
What kind of response have you gotten off the journals themselves?
So I've gotten some positive responses off the journals, especially the children's journal, because I guess, children learn things in threes. And so that's one thing that stuck out to Amelia Roman in that journal.
Okay. See, we do something with our Cub Club that is really kind of in line with what you do. We take and we invite kids to decorate poster boards
Uh-huh.
every holiday season. We ask them to decorate poster boards on however they feel, whatever they feel about the holidays, whether it's, no matter what religion they are, no matter what race they are, it's what is your version of a holiday dinner? What does this time of year mean to you? What does it mean? How do you feel about giving back to
Yeah.
others? And we ask them to go on ahead and decorate these, and then we take and we stick them on the side of collection boxes and put them throughout town. And then we use these collection boxes to get toys and food donations and gift donations, clothing, whatever we can get. And so I think it's one of those great things to see that you're also working with kids to help them express themselves. I'm not sure if we let kids express themselves enough anymore, and that kind of leads to some of the feeling of being shut down and shut out. And so I think that if we can get kids opened up and talking a little bit more, I think it might be better for society itself. As I mentioned in my monologue there, my wife and I are starting to, fiance and I, wife, whatever. I mean, she's here. She's going to be here for a while, so I guess I'll
Yep,
just
Miles
call her.
will get used to it.
Yeah, yep. She's the correct one. I'll just call her the correct one because that ought to make her happy because she knows she's right and I'm not right at all. But we do. We're fostering children now, and I would really be interested in checking out some of your books because we did have a young man just recently who had autism, and it was my first time dealing with somebody with autism, and it was a new experience for me, and it was an eye-opening experience for me. I wouldn't give it up for the world. I had so much fun, and I've raised my two sons already. What could your journals do for someone who maybe has that special autistic need, that need to express themselves, and maybe in a way that other people don't quite understand?
Um, I think it just starts with the basics and learning to express themselves. Like, how are you feeling? Are you feeling happy? Are you feeling sad? And so on each page of the kids' gratitude journals, you can also bubble in like how you're feeling that day. So like I have a smiley face, or I have like a frowning face, or I have like an angry face. So that's just one of the other ways that, kids can talk, express how they're feeling. And I think that's good for someone who's autistic as well, um, who can't put all the words together. So that's another way for an autistic child to show how they're feeling. They can just bubble in, what circle of emotion that they feel that day.
Getting back to your Christian fiction books, what you say for younger individuals, like what's the age group for your Christian fiction?
So I would say between the ages of 18 to 25.
Oh, okay. Well, that's great. Do you have anything else coming up anytime soon, or are you just still working on things? You still writing? Or are you just kind of one of those people that when you sit down, all of a sudden you've got a book before you know it, and you're like going, "Wow, where'd that come from?"
Yeah. So I'm continuing my Girl Rise series. And so I'm working on the second book to that. And it's called Girl Dream. And then I have another novel called Sarah's Story. And this is a story about a young girl named Sarah Crossroads who comes to a crossroads in life to choose a 9 to 5 job path like her parents want her to do when it comes to what they love, like psychology, or to pursue her dream of playing in the WNBA. So Sarah plays basketball all throughout school, and she wants to achieve her dream of playing professionally.
That sounds really interesting. Did Is that also drawing off something personal?
No, actually, I just made up the Sarah Crossroads character because as a child growing up, I've always loved basketball stories. They've
Mhm.
always drawn my attention.
Yeah, I just didn't know if maybe mom and dad wanted you to go into a different direction, and it didn't. I idealistically go with what you wanted to do. Was there any of that, or is this all something that you just learned about as your aging went on?
It's something that I've learned as my aging went.
Oh, that's great. I love hearing that the parents were very much in line with what you wanted to do. So um, that's always exciting for me to hear. I have one son who just recently joined, and let's be honest here, this scares me to death because of the temperature of today. But my youngest son just joined the sheriff's department, and my oldest son has been teaching English in Japan now for 3 years. And it's what they've wanted to do their entire lives. And it was one of those things that, I've always told them, it's your life. You got to do what you need to do. And if it's your dream, just make sure you do it. And that's something that I really hope that your book's very successful, and I can't wait. Please keep us updated and come back and join us whenever you've got anything else coming on. But I'd also like for you to kick back and stick with us for a little bit as we bring in Roger. And if you have any questions, please feel free to ask. That's what we like to do here. Make sure we get everybody involved. So.
And I would just like to lastly mention that with my novel Girl Rise, I have an online course that goes along with the book, and it's called How to Tackle the 7 Behaviors of Self-Sabotage. So I help young adults and working professionals to release self-sabotaging behaviors in 60 days. And so you can learn more about the course on my website at alistairtheauthor.com. So I help professionals and young adults to understand what are each of the type of fears, what are the causes and the effects of them, and how they arise and how you overcome them.
Okay. Yeah, that's great. And it's just as your name is spelled, Alistair.
Uh-huh.
The author?
Yes.
I'm trying to type in the banner, but of course I'm not a seasoned typer. I've got the
Yeah.
And with me, it's like typing with kielbasa's. So I press like 3 buttons at once. So please bear with me. But alistairtheauthor.com. So, but yeah, we'll bring you back on here towards the end when we do a roundtable. And but I appreciate you joining us today once again in such short notice. But please stick around, and we'll talk to you again in a minute.
Okay.
All right. Well, thank you. So, Roger, tell us exactly what a hydration what is a hydration specialist?
You got it. Hydration specialist. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. Thank you. Really great, Alistair, what you're doing. Yeah, just resonates with me. So that's really good. Yeah, we're all made up of water, and and it's not by coincidence that the earth is covered by approximately 70+% water, and our bodies are made up of approximately over 70% water. And hydration, dehydration is the number one cause of disease and early death. And it's so simple. Water is so simple, but the issue, our cells are made up of water. So when you, so I use the analogy of, our cells we're made up of 100 trillion cells. And I look at our cells as fish in a fish tank. This is our vessel, and the cells are the fish. So, when we were younger, or you may have had an aquarium or whatever, or a little fish bowl with a goldfish, what would, you come home, you're excited to see, Charlie, and you see Charlie isn't acting much like a fish anymore. He's kind of, lagging and not really moving. What's your first instinct?
Well, mine was always, what did I do now? How did I kill another fish?
Right? Yeah. But what's the normal instinct is, man, I got to change the water, And then what do? You dump out the cruddy water and you put in fresh water. And then Charlie's like, oh, yeah. Thank you. I'm a fish again. But we don't use that analogy when it comes to us as humans. And we're supposed to be the top of the food chain. So let that ponder. But yeah, so my journey was totally unexpected. My wife is in the wellness area, and she had been taught that this particular type of water called reverse osmosis water was supposed to be really, really good for us. And so we invested in it, and we had the fancy fridge with the filter, and she made me buy this other filter for the kitchen sink. So I thought we had the water game pretty covered. And then she comes home and says, oh, our chiropractor wants to tell us about some water. I'm like, water? I go, what? Yeah, I'm already spending this kind of money on this. So anyways, make a long story short, she educated us about water, all the different types of water, and how our tap water is heavily toxified with, industrial runoff, industrial farming runoff, 400 plus toxins of fluoride and chlorine and 300 other different stuff. And so she's tested our water, and my eyes were just amazed on what I thought water was water. And once I became enlightened to really the aspects of water and Coke and Gatorade and Perrier and all these other stuff, my wife said, we're getting this. And as you know, when your wife says we're getting this, is like, oh, I guess we're getting this.
Yeah. There's always that feeling, well, can we at least talk about this? But deep in your mind, there's no discussing it.
There's no discussing it. And
you just got to throw those words in every once in a while to, keep your man card or something. It's like, well, can we at least talk about this?
Exactly. No, that's right. And so the average person, when we wake up at 7 o'clock till 10, 11 at night, the average person loses, I'm going to use liters because I'm in Canada, loses 2.5 liters, which is like, I guess a gallon, half a gallon of water a day. Right. And and so the average person only drinks probably 3-4 cups of water a day, and if that. And so what happens is, you're running on deficit. So you might be able to get by for 1 year, but then you go into year 5, year 10. So it's like filling. It's like getting in your car from North Carolina and wanting to go to New York City for the weekend, but your gas tank is just above E.
Yeah.
You're not going to get far. So what happens is your body begins to break down, and you start developing migraines and this and that ache and this, and then you go see your doctor, and your doctor says, oh no, that's just normal. And then, but normal doesn't mean right. And so over time, you start developing all these issues, and you accept it because, oh, my uncle had it, my cousin has it, my best friend is like that. Oh, my aunt, she was about that age now. So you start to rationalize, but it all boils down to the water and the type of water you drink. So,
well, you did have it pretty close. It's 0.66 gallons. So just over half a gallon is 2.5 liters. So that's we've had our education for the day. Now,
there you go.
0.66 liters or gallons. So tell us, how does your program work? How does the water come to you?
Yeah, so it's actually a purification filtration system so what I like to say is I transform your ordinary faucet into a Maui waterfall, quenching thirst energy of water that's streaming down continuously. And that's what this system does. So it's Japanese technology, actually. So they've been able to formulate a way to remove all that nasty, contaminated, cancer-causing toxins in our water and leave the rich original state the way that God intended the water to be. Because, in fact, Kangen in Japanese means return to origin. So when you start drinking this water, guess who else becomes back to origin?
Yeah.
So,
And do you have to have a different filter? Because I know that, I know that different areas around the world have different items in the water. Here in Colorado, we're going to have something different than you guys in Canada. The places like where I live are going to have more, let's say, farming runoff than we have city runoff, because we're more of a farming country. Are there different types of filters that you have to have, or is there just one filter that is pretty much a do-all filter?
Yeah, great question. Yeah, so it yeah, it's a one size fit all because of the
Okay.
way, because the water, because of the molecules in the way the system works, it's able to attract the not so good parts of the water to go through an overflow hose and then leave the rich original alkalized, and there's nothing added into the water. That's a phenomenal thing. It's just leaves the remaining what the way God intended the water to be, from the beginning. So,
You know that I mean, everybody knows that there's going to be a cost associated with it, but we're not going to be asking for the cost because what you're offering is invaluable. Just because, if it's cleaner, we do buy here in my household, we buy the big old, we got the big old water cooler, and we go and do that because I simply do not trust city water. I've never I've never trusted city water. I mean, they find too much weird stuff in other places in city water, and I'm just not going to drink it. Um, what what is the difference between what your filter is able to do and the bottled water?
yeah. So bottled water. So this is just a smaller version of what you're getting. So basically, you're getting regular water. So when I educate people, I show people that the tap water is the same thing that's in here, but just in a bottle, plastic bottle. So, but then you get more toxins in because you get vitamin P with it as well, vitamin microplastics. So, so the analogy I was using earlier is like if you were to put your cup, a glass, under a moving stream, or I'll use this analogy. What would you rather drink from? Would you rather drink from a pond or drink from a moving stream or a waterfall?
I've been in too many ponds. I'm not going to drink from ponds. They don't. And I'm a golfer, and I've hit my balls into a lot of ponds, and they don't smell too great. So I don't think I'm going to say pond.
Right. And animals instinctively know that too, that they're going to go to a stream or a waterfall because of the energy, the properties that is from that water. So that's what this system does. It emulates there are very rare parts of the world called blue zones, where that's where actually the head office is, in Okinawa, Japan, where these people live the longest and they have the highest vitality. Living 110, 20 is no big deal. And so they have this water actually occurring naturally in various parts, but in Okinawa, Japan. And so where was I going with this? Where was I going with this? I had so much I wanted to say.
You were just talking about the differences between stream and pond.
Yeah. So there's the same type of water, but it's the elements that makes it so unique. And so animals are instinctively wanting and drawn. And just like us as humans, when you're using the system, it's emulating that. And now so when it's coming from the system, you're putting your glass there and you can see the energy. It's amazing. And then the glass looks so much more different. It has the molecular hydrogen and everything. And when you take a drink, it's like drinking cotton candy. It just dissolves and it goes right into your cells immediately.
Wow. Well, that's really, really neat. Hey, Roger, how do people get a hold of you to find out more?
Yeah, you guys, please, anyone that is interested in taking a quick little view of what I'm all about and what this water does, please visit rogero.kangandemo.com. There's a 6-7 minute little video where we test and share the difference between the very popular waters and beverages that we have been commonly told are good for us, and you won't be able to unlearn what you're going to learn. So, and if you'd like to learn more, then you can definitely connect with me by phone or email. Man, I love to do webinar or one-on-one chat and really discuss how we can help you change your water. You're going to change your life.
Well, that sounds great. We're going to be switching on and off between the both of you now. I would like to ask you both simple questions and see how you both answer them. And this is all about with what you do. So, Roger, you're already up here, so we're going to start with you. What do you hope? What do you see your main duty with Ken Kennigan Water?
Kangen? Yeah,
Okay.
Kangen.
What do you see that your main duty for people is with Kennigan Water?
I want to see people not have to rely on the health system. You know, uh, I don't want people. An ounce of prevention beats a pound of cure, and
Yep.
so it's so much cheaper and more wiser to be, take care of your body now. If you want to know what your 15 or 10 year is going to look like, you can't wait till then. You got to start doing it now. And so I've been a living product, and those that have been able to connect with me have said, okay, Roger, I see why this is so real. Mhm.
Well, that's a beautiful, beautiful answer. I do appreciate that. And Alistair, can you answer that same? Can you answer that same question, please? What do you see is your most valuable lesson with your books for people? We can't hear you. You're on mute.
Okay.
There you go.
I feel that my most valuable lesson with my books is helping people to find their self worth and helping people to manage their weight and to help people to have a healthy lifestyle for years to come.
Okay, so you guys are both of you guys feel like you run something that's going to help with health. That's great. I love, I love it when things come together like this, and it's actually kind of funny in the podcasting world now. I found out that it's really kind of weird. There's times when, you have to throw it a minute like we did with this one, a 10-minute show got really kind of thrown together, and it's amazing how sometimes there's just that synergy that works together about, we got the mind and the body and the soul right here with both of your guys' programs. So I think
Mhm.
I think it's great. Um, Alistair, we're going to start with you on this one. How did you get started, and what was the thing that really made you decide I'm going for this?
So I got started with being a writer back when I was in the fourth grade, and my fourth grade teacher actually saw my natural talent for using imagination, fun, and adventure when it came to writing children's stories and coming up with characters that kids will love for ages. And I wrote a children's picture book called The Sorcerer and the Magic Pond. And so Henry learned to use his powers for good and not for evil to help the Princess Hera's hair to grow back long all over again once the witch had cut her hair off. So he was able to, with his magical powers, to help her hair grow back all over again. And
Wow.
what made the decision for me to go full in being a writer is, I've been through, difficult relationships. I've dealt with toxic people in my life, and I don't want to see others to, live their relationships, surrounding themselves with, as all how we manage and deal with different people and personalities, but just to see people live their lives free. And I think, especially in this day and age with the online dating world, it can be extremely, hard to navigate it. And I just want my stories to inspire those that might have a difficult time dating. That dating all goes back to, how God sees, dating and courtship and marriage. And so I tie in biblical principles and Girl Rise to help those with that issue.
Okay. Well, thank you very much for that. Roger, your turn. And you've already explained this a little bit, but you know, we know that it was your wife that kind of got you started in this. What made you decide that, nope, this is it. This is the career path I'm going on. This is the career path I'm going to follow.
Uh, I went to. I went. I was just sharing this recently. I was just being the dutiful husband. I was getting the system maintained because you bring it in for maintenance, and the guy asked me. He assumed I was of the this thing, and I said, no, I'm just just
Yeah.
just the mule, just bring it in. And so they laughed, and they said, no, if you're ever interested in wanting to learn more, you could, we do, we'd love to invite you. And so I just politely said yes. Okay, thank you. And then just things kind of happened where, things just happened, and it was just weird how a friend of mine, we were just having lunch, just chatting, and the server came over and asked, "Oh, do you want water?" And I said, "Oh, no, I don't want water. Just a glass, please." And she was kind of like, and my buddy was like, "What? You don't want water?" And I said, No, I have my own." And then that just kind of opened up a whole nother conversation. It was like, okay, you're kind of weird. And then make a long story short, I'm really giving you the edited version. He called me out of the blue a year later, said, "I want to learn more about this thing." And this water changed his daughter's life and his life. And it just kind of just took on its own.
A life of its own.
A life of its own. And then it was like, wow, this is powerful stuff. And the testimonies are, nonstop.
Well, again, that's great. Let me, you did actually bring up something that I should have asked you earlier. Do you guys have a program for restaurants?
Yes, absolutely. Yeah. It is a very, very, yes, I'll just say that. Yes. Because prepping, water is essential. Like there's pizza, the pizza when you use this water.
Okay. Well, now you're talking. Now you're getting into the pizza stuff, and I'd say my stomach's growling, but you know what? My stomach's always growling. So back problems.
Well, just real quick, Zach, I'm just going to share. When your stomach is growling, it doesn't mean you're hungry. That's where it's actually your body's telling you you're thirsty. Oh. It's a dehydration. Your body's response, actually. So a little food, little tip.
Yeah, mine's just telling me, hey, don't forget about me. You've got me this big, and you didn't do it by exercise. So that's my body and I. We've got our own little language. We talk to each other all the time. So, but
that's for the audience.
Yeah, Roger, where do you see yourself in 10 years?
Yeah, I see myself definitely still sharing what I'm doing, because it's that important, even though I won't have to. But I just want to continue to be an ambassador to educating people about wellness. Health is so simple. That's the thing, whether in Canada or North America, we have the highest, we invest more towards healthcare than any country in the world. Listen to this. We spend billions of dollars towards healthcare than any other country in the world. But we have the sickest people per capita than any other country in the world. So I really want to shift the paradigm. I really want to try and disrupt as many people as I can to let them know that, health is simple. You just change one thing, and then you just kind of let your body respond, and then it's a big gateway to health. And it does not have to look like what we're being told that your golden years need to look like, because there's parts of the world where their golden years are way different from our golden years in North America.
I really think a lot of times, and this is my own personal opinion, this isn't scientifically based or anything. I think one of the biggest problems we have, and the reason why we've got the unhealthy issues, is that there's not really a lot of concentration on the core of the problem. There's a lot of concentration on the let's fix it quick and let's fix it now.
The Band-Aid, yeah.
Yeah, let's put a Band-Aid on it and hopefully it'll disappear, So something like your water, that's something that's going to fix in the long run. So it's a program that I do appreciate. So
Yeah.
Alistair, back to you. Where do you see yourself in 10 years?
So I see myself in 10 years owning my own bookstore, being a life coach, a speaker, and an author.
Excellent.
That is so exciting to me, because you said one thing, that I am not a big reader, but
Mhm.
I've always loved bookstores. There's something about walking into a bookstore that's so much different than walking into any other store. You know, there's a feel when you walk into a bookstore. It's kind of one of those things that you can't help but feel a little bit smarter when you walk into a bookstore. You know, there's all that knowledge, all those stories around you, and you just know that, you know, there's so much here that I could learn. And so I love that. I love the fact that you were gonna that you said that. So that's wonderful, wonderful answer. um and are you gonna, even with your bookstore, you planning on continuing to write?
Yes, I'm planning to write. So, within my bookstore, because my mom had actually had a dream about me owning my own bookstore. And when I did story time with the kids, I wore a different hat for each story that I read to them. And my bookstore was accented with bookworms.
No. Wow. That's
Very
great.
nice. That's
I love it. I
that's
love it.
great.
What the next question, and this will probably be the final question for you. I do again appreciate you joining me, Alistair. What would be one thing that could help you get to your 10-year goal? What is one thing that somebody can do to help you get to your 10-year goal?
Just having the resources and contacts in place.
Okay. Well, please do us a favor, and again, I would love it if you would keep up with us. Once again, Alistair, how do people get a hold of you?
Yes, so they can get a hold of me on my website at alistairtheauthor.com.
Okay. And what are your books for sale on your website? Are your books and your journals?
Yes, so my books are listed on the homepage of my website.
Okay. Well, Alistair, I do appreciate you joining us today. It's been a great pleasure to meet you. Thank you so much for the last minute addition and jumping on and joining us. But I appreciate you joining us so much. So thank you.
You're very
Nice meeting you, Alistair. Yeah, really great. I'll check out your website after too.
Yes, I'll do that too, and we'll make sure that other people see it as well. So thank you.
Oh, you're welcome.
So Roger, your turn. What can people do to help you get to your 10-year goal?
Hmm. Now, when you say people, I'm sorry. Just people.
Or
Yeah.
what's it going to take for you to get to your 10-year goal? And I just say people because we're in the business of trying to well, community pay it forward, the company that I run, we're in the business of trying to connect people to their dreams, help people's dreams come true, and we do that simply by asking people to shop with other people. So it's really kind of one of those things. Oh, I'm sorry. I will bring that up in just a minute, Alistair. Thank you for adding that on. But yeah, we try to find ways for people to connect with you and learn more about what you do and help support you. Because if we all continue to grow, we all continue to do better. So, what would make your dream in 10 years come true? What is something people can help you do?
Yeah. You know what? Everyone has that little voice about, is this water I'm drinking really, you know, benefiting me? Don't ignore it. Don't ignore that message, because God is talking to you, or your spirit is saying, just be curious. If even if it isn't for you, be curious, because there will be a time when you might go, wow, you know what, I see the connection, and circle back to that time. So just be curious, and be learn. Just always be learning. Don't be closed minded, and know that our water is it is good when it is in the right state, but just like our water is sick, and that's why we're sick. So it's such an easy correlation, you know. So I don't know.
Well, Roger, once again, I appreciate your ability to come on and join us on such a short notice. I
You're
thank you
welcome.
very much.
Thank you.
Please keep in contact with us here at the PAC channel. I'd like to invite you both on to my podcast, which comes on Wednesday nights. And I'd love to have you both on my podcast at some time. Alistair, you sent us another. You sent us another a little bit of information here, and we'd like to share that. Can you please tell us a little bit more about what you've got going on here?
So this is the link to my blog that everybody can check out. And so I'm also an Amazon affiliate marketer as well.
Okay. Yeah, that's great. Yeah, see, Alistair, we kind of do a little bit the same thing as Smile on there, you know, to where every time that, like with you guys heard me talking about my store back here, you know, we've got, we just got the access to this dollar store. And every time that somebody makes a purchase, we give away a portion of the sales to somebody who needs help. So we do something similar to Amazon Smile with our company. So, you know, but I would love to talk to you a little bit more, maybe sometime on maybe making a connection. But I will definitely check out your blog, and I'll check out both websites. I'm extremely interested. And just to let you know, Roger, one of the funny things is just a couple weeks ago, the wife and I kind of got into a little bit of an argument because I will not drink fountain water, you know, faucet water. I will not do it. I can't do it. So, you know, but I'm not going to say that too loud because, you know, that old Eddie Murphy joke where the shoe comes in.
Yes, that's right.
You know, yep. So, but as much as I love her, I know that she'll get me for this, you know, but and especially now that I can prove her wrong.
Yeah, exactly.
Not that I would ever do that.
No,
ever do that.
Not before the wedding.
Yeah, that's right. So yeah, that's kind of getting a little bit too close. I better shut up. So, but again, I would like to thank you both for joining us. And if there's anything that we can ever do to help you out, please feel free to get a hold of us. Like I said, we've got a couple other.
So how do we get a hold of you? Or will you'll communicate with us afterwards?
Yes, absolutely. Yeah, I'll send you guys. I'll send you guys both correspondence, and hopefully we can. If you guys could put in the private chat, if you could put your email in, I will send you guys an email here in a little bit. But I want to thank both of you guys very much for once again your quick response and joining us, because this was going to be a really weird, quick, made-up show, and you guys made this so easy, and I cannot believe the hour is already gone. So you two did a wonderful, wonderful job, and I appreciate both of you guys very much. Congratulations on everything you're doing, Alistair. We're looking forward to more of your things, and actually, you might see a pretty decent-sized order for your journals be coming in, because we're looking for. This is something that we were looking to do. I know that they create books, and you might even be able to help me do this. I know that they create books where parents can record their voices. Oh, you got to get going? Okay, thank you, Roger. I appreciate it. But I know that there's some books out there where parents can record their voices, and then when they go away, you've still got it to where you can read the books with the children, except for the mom and dad are reading the book on recorded voice. We want to do that in the foster program, and we also want to do that for our veterans when they go overseas. So if you have any leads, I would love for you to assist us trying to find that. So
okay.
But once again, thank you so much for joining us, and I hope to talk to you soon.
All righty. It's been my pleasure.
All right. Thank you, Alistair. Hey everybody, my name is Zach, Community Pay It Forward, and I thank you guys very much for joining us today on Compassionate Citizens. I had to remember what podcast I'm doing now, you know. I mean, I do so many. Okay, I do 3 of them. But I mean, let's be honest here. I could blame the head injury. I could do all this other stuff, but we all know I wasn't that bright to begin with, so it's not like the head injury really did that much. It just, you know, kind of fogged me up every once in a while. I do ask you to join us tomorrow. We do have some wonderful, wonderful people joining us on the Pact podcast tomorrow at 7 Eastern, 5 Mountain. You're going to be meeting Stephanie Samos, my friends with Hope Wines. We're going to be honoring the Lucas, I forgot, Lucas Project, which does help caregivers. And then we're also going to be bringing on my brother, my dear friend Bart Bartholomew from Veterans, honoring veterans. And throughout the month of June, we're going to be selling wine for those wonderful programs. So it's going to be a great time. Then we've got one of my newest partners, Miss Angel Sun, who we pre-recorded a video that we're going to be playing. So please remember to love somebody out there, because somebody out here loves you. Nobody has to go it alone when we all come together. Just remember, if you got extra clothing that no longer fits you, it's not doing you any good. Put it in your car. Let's make sure that we get it to somebody who's struggling with the elements. If you got some extra food that you're not going to eat and it's still good, you don't want to give it to waste, throw it in an old butter bowl. Give it to somebody who's out there battling with hunger. Folks, nobody needs to hurt, because we're all the same race. We're all the human race. Let's come together. Let's make stuff happen for people, and let's just do good. All right. My name is Zach, Community Pay It Forward, Community Dare to Care. You can get a hold of me at 970-909-0751, 970-909-0751. You can also find us at communitypayitforward.us, communitypayitforward.us. And remember, scan my little buddy here. Scan that guy. Why? Because he's a dollar store now. That little funky looking thing is a dollar store. The stuff comes straight to your door, plus every purchase, you're making 2 donations. One is going to save veteran lives and get veterans off the streets. And the other one, you tell us who you want to support. Please join us again tomorrow night. Join us next week right here for Compassionate Citizens. I'll talk to you soon. Thank you very much. Have a great